Hello mindful meal preppers, my name is Em and this is Life's Table. This video is the last of this week's 3, 4, 5 challenge. If you've joined me for all 3 meals, congratulations! And if this is your first video with me, welcome. Regardless, thank you for taking care of you today. Just to remind you of what the 3, 4, 5 challenge is, to help address our nation's food insecurity endemic, I have decided to record myself making 3 meals per week from start to finish. Each dish must serve at least 4 people and cost less than $5 per serving. Tonight's dinner is a Greek-inspired chicken and vegetables. You can see the ingredients I purchased here along with the prices in this photo. The blue ingredients are the ones absolutely required for this meal and their prices fall below the $20 mark. The pink ingredients were purchased as part of a full grocery haul I did earlier this week for all 3 meals that I cooked, which meet the 12 servings under $60 requirement. And in case you missed it, you can see everything that I purchased in that grocery haul video down below. So, assuming you didn't, tie back your hair if you have to, put on an apron if you've got one, and let's get cooking good looking. We've got a lot to learn today at Life's Table. Y'all, we are doing Greek-inspired chicken pita tonight, and I am so excited. We'll start off with our ground chicken. You got salt, olive oil, garlic, onion, cumin, black pepper, crushed red pepper. We've got our pita and our tzatziki with feta. I'm so excited for this. And then for our Greek salad, we're going to be doing green pepper, tomato, and cucumber. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to begin, as we typically do, by selecting a pan that meets the needs of what we'll be making today. We'll go ahead and turn that heat to medium high. Once again, it's a pretty safe range. And then we'll go ahead and we'll grab our cutting board and our knife. We'll go ahead and grab a little bit of garlic to start crushing and chopping. I chose 3 cloves. You give them a good crush with the flat end of the knife to release that allicin, which we talked about in our last video. It's what makes garlic so good for us on top of being tasty and delicious. We'll give that a quick chop. Now, in our last video, we dove further into budgeting, the reasons why we do that, and I talked about this video being the one where we discuss after you have drafted up your budget and you have found out what your point A is, and you then do some research like going onto the USDA website. Once you establish your point A and you research your point B, now is the time to start taking steps to get there. We'll move back to the onion, and then we will be talking about that in this video today. We're going to chop our onion down from top to bottom, and then we'll chop into chunks from left to right. Because this is going to go into the ground chicken and add flavor to that, I am going to chop smaller than I did for the soup, and certainly smaller than I would for a salad, because I want smaller bite-sized pieces to really meld together with this chicken. We will begin to start chopping the salad that's going to go with our Greek-inspired chicken. We start with peeling and chopping the cucumber. Now, save those peels in the same way that we have saved them in our veggie scrap bag in the previous videos. And just so you're aware, you don't necessarily have to peel the cucumber. For me, it's a little bit of a texture thing. Once we finish peeling the cucumber, we'll chop off the head and the tail. We'll put all of those things in the veggie scrap bag, and then I will teach you a trick for getting all of those seeds out of that cucumber using a spoon. Once you cut that cucumber in half, what you will do then is you will take the spoon and you will push it into the center of the cucumber and scrape it down. And while it will fight you a little bit, it does require a little bit of force and strength. it should come out without too much of a struggle. And at that point, your pan should definitely be hot enough to begin cooking the onions, the garlic, and the ground chicken. We will go in, test for that light and frost effect, which means that it is in fact time to go in with our olive oil. We're going to use around 2 tablespoons just to fully coat the bottom of the pan in a very nice thin layer, prevent sticking. Then you go in with your onion and your garlic to get that going and toss in your ground chicken almost immediately afterwards so all of those flavors can cook together and meld. Grab a wooden or a rubber spatula and begin breaking up the chicken into little teeny tiny morsels. So that way, when you build your pita later, if you decide to do that, everything fits in nice and neat. Almost immediately afterwards, you are also going to top off with some spices. We will be using our salt, our pepper, our cumin. Cumin is going to be the star flavor of this meal, so make sure you get a good healthy dose of it there. I'll show you the quantity here in a second. And also a little bit of crushed red pepper, again, if you like heat in your meals as well. While that begins to cook, while these flavors begin to meld, while those spices begin to heat up, you're then going to go back to your salad. And this is a really low maintenance meal. So while the chicken is cooking, you chop up the salad, and depending on the timing of it, right around the time that you finish chopping the salad is around the time then that the chicken and the vegetables will finish cooking in that pan. But you will know that the chicken is done when, if you look at the pan, almost all of the moisture is gone from it. It's a much easier cleanup. You don't have to worry about where you're going to dispose of the leftover grease or anything like that. And personally, and this is just a personal opinion, I like the flavor of ground turkey and ground chicken over the flavor of ground beef. And that might just be because I was raised predominantly in what we called it, fins and feathers household, where we eat chicken, turkey, fish, seafood over pork and beef. We start with your cucumber. For Greek salads like this one, I tend to not finely chop them. You're looking for nice, chunkier chopped vegetables. I at least for Greek salad, I do like to have larger pieces. We'll then move on to the tomatoes, and after that, we'll go in with a green pepper. Now, with that said, while you finish chopping and cooking, I'm going to go grab a whiteboard so that we can discuss goals and different ways to save. What I want us to talk about now, since in the last video we discussed point A and point B and how budgeting helps you to see where you are in relation to the research that you're doing and what people are saying point B should be. But now I want to talk about the journey and the steps that it actually takes to get from point A to point B. Calling back to my old financial counseling days, I would see clients all the time. People would hear rumors and swirls about there's like someone here in my community who wants to help me with my finances. And so they would come to me, and the very first sentence out of their mouth almost every single time was, "Hey, finance lady, M, I want to get rich." Well, cool. That sounds great. Me too. I also want to get rich. They would come to me with these goals and these ideas and these dreams that they had, but they didn't necessarily have a great way of articulating it. And unfortunately, what that means is it truly was kind of just a dream, right? Having goals is very important. We do want to have something that drives us forward and gives us things to work towards. But having a goal like, I want to get rich, is not a good goal at all. It's a dream. And here's why. And actually, you know what? Let's demonstrate this. Let me actually find out and learn something about you all today. How do you define rich? Go in the comments and tell me what rich means to you. When you picture yourself and your life and wealth, what does that look like for you? Because I guarantee you it looks subtly different for every single person. Rich for me is not going to be the same as rich for you. And that is why having goals like I want to get rich is not helpful and it's not beneficial. Because it could mean anything and it could change even from day to day. Rich for me today does not look the same as rich for M 5 years ago. It's different. What we need to talk about is ways to put it on paper effectively, and that's what we will be practicing today. The formula that we would always teach our clients and our customers was what we called the SMART formula, S-M-A-R-T. Hopefully you all can see this. Perfect, we totally can. When I say SMART, of course it's an acronym, it stands for things, and we'll go ahead and do a little breakdown. Your goals should be, first and foremost, specific. And rich is not specific. That's the first point of failure, okay? The second point of failure is that goals, to be effective, should be measurable, all right? If you can't measure your progress, if you can't measure your success, if you don't have perhaps a definitive end date, then you don't necessarily know what you're working towards, when you will get there, how you will get there, any of it. All right. So again, huge point of failure, because I have no way of defining or measuring rich in the same way that I can't get specific with it. It's too general. The A in SMART is action oriented. And what I mean by action oriented is I can't just think about it. There has to be steps that I take. There are things that I do to achieve this goal, okay? R needs to be realistic. And what I mean by realistic is once we started getting these down on paper and really seeing, okay, what are the specifics? Put a dollar value on rich. How are you going to get to that dollar value? What steps are you going to take? In how much time, because this is the T, it needs to be time bound. How long is that going to take for you to get there? And if you say things like, I hope to be a millionaire by next year, can you do it? And for some people, the answer might be yes. And hey, kudos to you, more power to you. But for a lot of us, you can't be a millionaire next year. I know, at least for me, speaking personally, M is not going to be a millionaire by next year. It's not going to happen. Let's be honest, okay? So let's go ahead and I want to transition I want to get rich into a SMART goal. So let me set one for myself, and I will set it here in front of you all, and I'll share with you why this might actually be more effective than any other goal I've ever tried to set for myself. I might actually be more likely to stick with it because I'm here sharing it with you all. But we'll practice this. Specific, all right? I want to get rich, fine. I want to save money, cool. Specifically, I want to save on my grocery bill, okay? I want to save money on my grocery bill. So we are going to get specific with this. We'll go ahead and go in with green, all right? Specifically, we're saving money on groceries. We want a grocery bill to go down, okay? Specific because I am narrowing it down to my grocery bill. I specifically want to reduce my grocery bill. And knowing about what I can spend on groceries based off of this 3-4-5 challenge, I know that I can probably get my grocery bill down to less than $300 per month. Okay. Is that measurable? Yes. because either I'm meeting that $300 per month mark or I'm not. So the way that I keep this action oriented is I do things like the 3, 4, 5 challenge. Okay. So by committing to the 3, 4, 5 challenge, I plan to reduce my grocery bill to about $300 per month or less. Okay. Is that realistic? For me and my household, I think it is, because there's only 2 people living in the house. So when I'm making this many meals per week, that covers most of my meals for the week. So I'm not necessarily branching too far out beyond that, which is really, really nice. It means I do think that this is realistic. I think I can keep it below the $300 per month mark. And then time bound. Because it is on a monthly basis, I am able to see this, and I kind of hope to do this indefinitely, but we'll go ahead and we will be doing check-ins regularly. Hey, how are we doing? Is it realistic? Is $20 per meal to serve 4 realistic? Perhaps the cost of food is going to continue to rise to the point that this isn't something that we can do every month anymore. And then we do need to reevaluate, and it is a continuous cycle. All right. So for the time boundedness, it's the per month. We are keeping it specific to our grocery bill, and we are putting a specific dollar bill on it. Okay. Action oriented by doing the 3, 4, 5 challenge. And there we have what we call a SMART goal. Okay. I would love to see what you all draft up for yourselves in terms of SMART goals for you. Please share them in the comments, and here's why. There is something that I used to call it my accountability buddy, all right? There is something about telling other people about your goals that makes you more likely to achieve and attain them. Because if I just keep it in, there's almost no pressure to stick with it, right? Only I know that I've set this goal for myself, and so if I don't make it, well, hey, I might be disappointed in myself, but no one else is looking at me like, hey, buddy, you're supposed to be practicing what you preach. Hey, buddy, what about that time that you said so on and so forth, right? When I share my goals with other people, they help to keep me in check. They help to hold me accountable, my accountability buddies. All right. I know, because I've got other people working on this project with me, they are going to definitely hold me accountable. And I'm so excited for that. And I can't wait to see how we both, or how we all, do better together because we are holding each other accountable. It's the same thing with any other goal that you have. My goal is to save up for a vacation for next year. I'm going to take my family to Disney World. Wonderful. Tell other people about these plans, about these goals. They will help to hold you accountable to make that more of a reality. All right. At this point, your chicken and your vegetables should be just about done cooking. I'll show the video here of what it should look like towards the end once it is finally prepped and ready to go. And then I'll show you how to assemble this delicious, delicious meal into a nice meal-sized, not bite-sized, but meal-sized pita pocket, almost like the Euro sandwiches, or the gyro, or the gyro, whatever you guys call it. Euro is actually how it's pronounced. Euro sandwiches from Greece and the Mediterranean. All right. This has been SMART Goals, and next time we will be talking about the different types of accounts that we can use with this money saved, where we can put them in the different uses for the accounts that we have, so that you can choose the best one for your situation. Thank you for taking care of you today, and I hope that you enjoy. Bon appetit.
Hi, M here from the future. Ooh. So, I just wanted to interrupt myself. I don't think I did a very good job just now of explaining the time-bound part of SMART goals, and I think I want to give you all a better example of how to apply it. So, going with the saving money, and specifically saving money through decreasing our grocery bills. And I'm gonna go ahead and guess that by doing the 3, 4, 5 challenge, I am cutting my grocery bill in half easily. And that's not necessarily cutting the food bill in half, because I'm still, I'm still dining out occasionally, and I'm still doing other things. But certainly the grocery bill has decreased, and it's decreased substantially. Future me can attest to this. So if I were to apply this to making it a time-bound goal, what I would say in this example is, by this time next year, I hope to have saved overall close to like $4,000 just by cutting my grocery bill in half. So by cutting it in half and dropping the $600 down to $300, that is now $300 a month that I am saving every month. 300 times 12 is $3,600. I'm doing a very good job of, again, staying south of that number. So by this time next year, an extra $4,000 should be saved up to put towards whatever. That is like the end goal, the time-bound thing. Do I hope to continue this beyond just this next year? Yeah, of course I do, and I plan to. Future's looking pretty bright right now. But hopefully that helps to better articulate what I was trying to say in the moment. If you got questions, put them in the comments. I'll get to them, I promise. But if not, sorry about that. Just bear with me. I'm learning just as you're learning, just as my editor is learning. Shout out to my editor. And we're all improving for it. I hope that you're enjoying these meals just as much as I am, because they are very tasty. As ever, thank you for taking care of you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
We are just about finished. And we're now just about finished with the salad as well. So all that's left to do is, if you would like, we'll go and toast up the pita, and we'll get our tzatziki spread on it, and we're ready to go. Bon appetit. And show you how to assemble. So we're going to take half of our pita, because that's 1 serving size, and you're going to go ahead and split it down the middle and open it up, right? We are then going to take our tzatziki. Dip your spoon in to get about 2 tablespoons worth, because I believe that's what it said. And then you're going to smear it all through the pita. Make sure, oops, it would be helpful if I actually showed it too. All right, making sure that you get all the layers and stuff so that it's got a pretty even, nice base. Here. Okay, from there, we're gonna take our meat. All right, the chicken serves 4, so we're going to take about 1/4 of the meat and lay it in here on the bottom as well. Be careful, it is still hot, assuming that you're serving fresh. We're going to take a couple of scoops here. Okay, so it should look a little bit like this. And then lastly, we top it off with our salad. Greek salad goes on top. You can also put it on the side if you're worried about it getting soggy, or maybe you don't like the whole combination of flavors. I know some people don't like their food touching, and this is like nightmare fuel. But assuming that everything is good to go, we then get to take our first bite. Enjoy. All right, y'all, we got a delicious dinner in under 30 minutes. Bon appetit. So inexpensive. It's so healthy and good for you. You can't go wrong.